A very good morning to all of you. In this class, I am going to start with another important topic of chapter Molecular Basis of Inheritance, and the topic is translation. Before going to start, first revise our previous class content. That in previous class I have already discussed about the structure of DNA, then structure of DNA or discovery of genetic material. In the discovery of genetic or search of genetic material, there are so many experiments done by the different scientists. We have already discussed in previous class, that is transforming principle, that was given by Griffith. Then biochemical characterization of Griffith's experiment done by the three scientists Oswald, Coley, McCarthy. And then after the genetic material is DNA, Hershey Chase and Martha Alfred Hershey and Martha Chase discovered that the DNA is the genetic material. Then after according to the central dogma hypothesis that was given by Francis Crick, or given that the from DNA undergoes in the duplication process or synthesis process to form its own double helical structure, that is known as the process is known as replication, and from DNA the mRNA will be formed by the transcription, and after this the translation occur, that is formation of protein from the mRNA. So how the translation occur in the cytoplasm? First we discuss about the whole mechanism of the translation, or how the translation occur. Then we discuss about the machinery of translation. So here is the cell. Whether the cell is eukaryote or prokaryote, because the main difference in prokaryote or eukaryote is the nuclear absence of nuclear membrane in the prokaryotic cell, so that the nucleoplasm is completely dissolved in the cytoplasm, or that's why both the transcription and translation both occur in the cytoplasm, because due to the absence of nuclear membrane, nucleoplasm is dissolved in the cytoplasm. So that's why the reason is that the reason behind the synthesis of protein in the cytoplasm. So how the synthesis takes place in the cytoplasm in eukaryotic cell, because prokaryotic cell there is a huge difference in between prokaryote or eukaryote, where the nuclear membrane absent in prokaryotic cell and eukaryote have the nuclear membrane. So that's why the transcription takes place in the nucleoplasm, or whereas the cytoplasm is responsible for the translation process. So here is the nucleus of the cell, where from the DNA, if the cell undergoes in the multiplication of cells, simply undergoes in mitosis division, or whether the mitosis or meiosis division is when the cell undergoes in division phase. So there is need for the replication of genetic material, or also said to be duplication of genetic material, so that the one set of genetic material get transferred into the newly formed cell or daughter cell. So for the transmission of a set of genetic material into the daughter cell, the DNA have to undergoes in replication process. So when the DNA undergoes in replication process, the two sets of DNA get formed inside the nucleus, inside the nucleoplasm. But if they undergoes in the gene expression, when cell undergoes in gene expression, or if the gene expression occurs, so there is need for copy of the genetic material on the mRNA, so that because DNA do not itself transfer into the cytoplasm, so that the code just copied on mRNA, or there is synthesis of mRNA which have has the code similar to the genetic material, so that because each and every gene is responsible for so many proteins in case of prokaryotes or as well as in eukaryotes. So that's why they undergoes in the transcription, because DNA itself do not transmit into the cytoplasm, because this is the genetic material. These DNA have the whole information about the organism, so that's why they cannot be transferred itself into the cytoplasm. They function or as a they synthesize mediator who transmit their message into the cytoplasm, where the message read by the different protein and enzyme and cell structure, that is ribosome, tRNA, and so many factors involved in the synthesis of protein that read this code and synthesize protein or add one by one amino acids, so that the protein gets synthesized into the cytoplasm, and that protein is responsible for function as protein, simple as protein, but but also function as enzyme. So and because the protein is the also a type of because so many components of the cell are formed by the protein, like cell membrane have the integral protein which function as pumps, like sodium potassium pump. So protein involved in the sodium potassium pump, protein also involved in the formation of structure of the cell, that is microtubule, and protein involved in the formation of the different cell organelle, protein involved in the formation of enzyme also. So the protein is the main also said to be main biomolecule, or which take part in the synthesis of different cell component, different enzyme. So that's why protein is important, and the code for synthesis of specific protein present only on the DNA. So there is need for the to transcribe that code on mRNA, or from mRNA protein gets synthesized into the cytoplasm, where the ribosome, small structural unit, ribosome, which catalyze the reaction with the help of initiation factor or elongation factor. Finally, they add one by one amino acid, and peptide bond formation occur with the catalysis by the catalysis reaction of the ribosome, that catalyze the reaction and synthesize the protein with the help of peptide bond formation, which join two amino acid with each other. So that's why this reason the protein gets synthesized inside the cytoplasm. So how the whole reaction takes place in the cytoplasm, we can discuss with the help of mechanism. So translation again divided, as we in the previous class we have already discussed about the structure of tRNA, structure of ribosome, already study about the initiation codon, or what is initiation codon, initiation factor 1, 2, 3, three type of initiation factor, initiation codon, AUG, GUG and UGG. Somehow in some places in prokaryotes mainly 3 initiation codon are available, but most common initiation codon is AUG, and GUG whenever they present in the initial of the code, so they function as initiating codon. But when this code GUG present in between the structural gene, or also said to be structural triplet codon, so they add valine amino acid, not initiating. Do not add initiating amino acids. That is when they present at the first end, or also near the 5 prime end of the mRNA. So they function as initiating codon, or they add formyl methionine in case of prokaryote, or in case of eukaryote only methionine amino acid added by the GUG when this code triplet codon present at the 5 prime end or upstream of the mRNA. When the GUG present in between the structural genes, so they function, this GUG function in the addition of valine amino. They add valine amino acids except the methionine. So these are for the translation, how many factors or how many enzymes we need or cell need during the synthesis of protein. So first, cell need initiating codon. So initiating codon in case of eukaryote or prokaryote, both GUG is the main initiating codon, but except AUG is the main initiating codon, but except this AUG, the some other initiating codon are also present in case of prokaryote. These are GUG and UGG. So these two in prokaryotes. Now second is initiating amino acid. Initiating amino acid. Initiating amino acid is only methionine and formyl methionine. Formyl methionine. Here is also in prokaryote. Formyl methionine present in prokaryotes. Now third is initiating factor. Initiating factor. Initiating factors. These are initiating factor 1, initiating factor 2, initiating factor 3. So 3 initiating factors get involved in the synthesis of protein, or get involved in the initiation of protein synthesis. These 3 initiating factors, response 1 and 3, bind with the small subunit of the ribosome, and 2 IF2 bind with initiation factor initiation factor bind 2 bind with the tRNA. So they help in the activation or addition of amino acid to the 3 prime end of the tRNA. So except these things, some other tRNA and ribosomes involved in the initiation of or synthesis of protein, that are elongation factors also involved in the synthesis of protein. Now fourth is elongation factor that are responsible for the elongation of protein synthesis. That means after the initiation, the amino acid get added one by one with each other to synthesize long chain of protein. Now fifth is ribosomes. As we already discussed, in prokaryotic ribosomes are 70S type and eukaryotic ribosomes are 80S type. Now these ribosomes, the small subunit, first the first there is addition of small subunit. After the addition of tRNA, the last subunit get added with the small subunit in case of prokaryote or eukaryote too. Now ribosome, here is 70S ribosome, 80S ribosome. Now 6 is the tRNA, initiating tRNA. So initiating tRNA have anticodon, initiating tRNA, or also the tRNA, only tRNA. Now that initiate or elongate, so tRNA, these tRNA elongate the amino acid or elongate the protein chain, and initiating tRNA have anticodon for AUG triplet codon. So they add with the help of these anticodon, tRNA get added to the AUG and add the amino acid, or accepted, also said to be the accepted. These are the accepted tRNA. At the 3' end of the accepted tRNA, amino acid get added at the 3' end by the phosphoester bond, because there is no phosphodiester only present in the DNA or RNA. In the tRNA and amino acid there is only phosphoester bond. Now the 7 is after this ribosome, tRNA, initiating factor, initiating codon, the elongation tRNA is also present, that included in the tRNA, and the releasing factor that after the elongation of whole chain of protein or whole chain of protein, finally at the end or termination of the protein synthesis, during the termination of protein synthesis, finally at the terminal region, that is UTRs are present. These UTRs are untranscribed region which do not code any of the amino acid, that is also known as have the stop codons. That stop codons are UAA, examples are UAA and stop codons, UAA, UAG, UGA. These are the stop codon. Now these stop codon do not code any of the amino acid, or for these triplet codon there is no amino acid or no tRNA that have the anticodon. So that's why for these stop codon, finally the 8 releasing factor added, at the region of 3 stop codon. These releasing factors are RF1, 2 and 3. RF1, 2 and 3. Now let us discuss about the whole mechanism of translation, how all these structures involved in the translation process. Now in the initiation, first we discuss about the first step, initiation, then we discuss elongation, and after this the termination involved, that is the final step of protein synthesis, in which the termination of the protein synthesis occur by stopping of synthesis of the protein. And how, at which chamber protein gets synthesized, that the chamber is the rough endoplasmic reticulum, where each ribosome get attached to the rough endoplasmic reticulum and mRNA is also present, and the code read by the tRNA. Now, first step is initiation. In the initiation process, here is the mRNA where the 5 prime in cap 5 prime capping is present, that is capped by the 7 methyl guanosine triphosphate. 7 methyl guanosine triphosphate present at the 5 prime end or the upstream of the mRNA, or at the tail region of the mRNA, the polyadenylate tail is present. Polyadenylation, that means that both the capping and tailing is responsible for the securing of both the end of mRNA. So that's why they are the mRNA need for the capping and tailing, because these capping and tailing secure or protect the end of mRNA, because mRNA is reactive or RNA is reactive because of the presence of 2' hydroxyl group on 2' hydroxyl group, or that hydroxyl group is most reactive, or so that the because at the 5' end, normal 5' end, the phosphate group is present, which is more function as electrophile, and 2' hydroxyl group function as nucleophile. So positive negative interaction occur or electrophilic reaction occur. So that's why the 5' in phosphate react with hydroxyl group with its own chain of hydroxyl group. So that's why there is need for capping and tailing of mRNA, or for the stability of mRNA and for protecting both the end of mRNA. Now, here is the initiating codon AUG. When the ribosome move along the mRNA, moving on the mRNA, they read the AUG with the help of ribosome small subunit. Here is if the mRNA strand is of prokaryote, so small subunit is for 30S and the large subunit is 40S. 50S. 30S and 50S. Small subunit is 30S. And large subunit is 50S. Now, on first the small subunit bind with the initiating codon, then after the 50S subunit bind on the large subunit. But because here is the as we already know, A site, P site and E site. E site always present in the large subunit, and at the P site AUG is present, and A site is freely present on the ribosome. When the tRNA with anticodon, here is A, then U, A, C. Anticodon UAC with amino acid, because AUG always code for, and here is prokaryotic translation, so formylmethionine present on the tRNA. So get added the tRNA with their anticodon bind with triplet codon present on mRNA. So or at the P site. Finally, the binding of tRNA with this AUG, after the binding of tRNA with AUG, the 50S subunit bind with the 30S subunit. But before this, how the tRNA, initiating tRNA initiate the protein synthesis. So there is some factor, that is IEF1, and here is IEF, initiation factor 3. So initiation factor 1 and initiation factor 3. Okay. Actually initiation factor here is 1 and here is 3. So factor 1 and initiation factor 3, with the help of these two factors, 30S subunit bind at the region of initiating codon or at the P site. So initiating codon always present at P site, and A site is open for the binding of tRNA, elongation tRNA. For the binding of elongation tRNA, it is also covered by initiation factor 1. So initiation factor 1 protect the A site so that initiating tRNA have only P site for bond formation in between the codon, triplet codon or anticodon. So that's why the initiating tRNA always bind with AUG. Now initiation factor 2 help the tRNA for the or also initiation factor 2 have the GTPase activity, so they hydrolyze the GTP and remove 2-phosphate guanosine diphosphate in the form of GPP, and they add with the because these hydrolysis they provide the energy for the transmission of these amino acid, or also in the formation, because bond formation occur in between the tRNA, 3' end of the tRNA and the formyl methionine. So that need energy, and energy required by the GTP and GTP, how the energy used from the GTP, that the initiation factor help, because initiation factor have the GTPase hydrolysis with the help of these GTPase enzyme. With the help of GTPase enzyme, they hydrolyze the GTP molecule and utilize GTP energy for the binding of amino acid to the tRNA. So bond formation occur in between the amino acid and tRNA that use energy, and energy required because as we already know, in the formation of phosphodiester bond, every nucleotide comes in the form of triphosphate, that is nucleotide triphosphate, in the form of nucleotide triphosphate, so help in the formation of phosphodiester bond. But there in the amino acid there is no any phosphate group is present, so they hydrolyze the GTP molecule with the help of initiating factor 2 that have the GTPase activity, or that hydrolyze GTP and use energy for the bond formation. Now when the tRNA bind with the anticodon, with the triplet codon, by their anticodon, the formyl methionine get added at the P site of tRNA. Here is AUG, and with the release of these, after the release of these initiating factor IEF1, IEF2 and IEF3, initiation factor 3, also GDP diphosphate. Finally the formyl methionine get added at the P site of a small subunit. After the addition of these, the large subunit large subunit get added at the region of 30S subunit, and here is A site free. Now the elongation occur. In the elongation, after the release of these initiating factor GDP, the elongation factor, with the help of elongation factor TU or TS, and which also has the GTPase activity, or with the help of GTP molecule, they elongate the protein chain. The elongation carried out in the different step, or how the because as we already know in the previous class, formation of amino acyl tRNA or adenylate tRNA occur during the addition of these tRNA, because tRNA itself or as such do not get added at the P site. They need more initiation factor or energy for formation of amino acid tRNA. So like this tRNA, the elongation tRNA also use energy in the to carry the amino acid, or also transfer the in the transfer of amino acid at the region of the elongation, at the region of the mRNA, or during the process of elongation. So in next class we will discuss about the elongation process, or here is overall the initiation process, or how the initiation process occur in the translation, and how the initiating tRNA, initiating amino acid, or initiating codon together help in the initiation of protein synthesis. So here is the overall initiation. In next class we will discuss about the elongation process. So I hope you like this video. Keep listening and watching me.